put them on hold. I was the other one. Uh-huh.
Really?
I don't think that has, I don't think it's, I know it's not four. I put anarchist to use it.
She was. I didn't bring my phone with me.
I did.
You
I
have a
brought
number? We'll try to call her. That'll work. All right.
Oh, you got it? Yeah. Thank you.
She's not answering.
Watch over the elderly and the sick in our village and keep our troops and our first responders safe. We ask this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America.
Approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda? If not, need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by Trustee Mercer. Trustee Archuleta,
yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
Trustee Mercer. Yes. Public comments. Do we have anybody to address? If not, we'll continue. Approval of minutes, Board of Trustees Workshop Meeting, March 10th, 2022. Board of Trustees Regular Meeting, March 17th, 2022. Do we have any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve, please.
I make a motion to approve the trustees workshop on March 10th, 2022, and trustees regular meeting on March 17th, 2022.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by Trustee Mercer. Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
Trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Trustee Archuleta.
Yes.
Thank you. Presentations, Rural Communities Recreation Grant. And we asked maybe like 15 minutes. So you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll rock and roll right through it. This is kind of a test to see how long it'll take. I don't think it'll take that long, but first off, I want to thank you, Mayor, trustees, management, and honored guests. But thanks to Miss Denise for getting me right on the front of the agenda. I appreciate that a bunch. So kind of a little bit about me. I'm Les Gaines. Many of you know me. I'm from Grants. I live in Lobo Canyon. I lived here my whole life. I moved here when I was 13. I sat behind James Mercer's mom and dad in church for years and years and years. So I'm invested in the community, and I believe we have lots of opportunities here. And I think there's going to be a little bit of learning curve for this for me right here first. But let's see this. So the recreational economy for rural communities. We had written a grant, a number of us that are on a committee about in 2019 to receive some money for some actually some advice and schooling and some education on rural economies in small towns. Okay. So in 2019, Grants, Cibola County, and actually Milan was active in that also. There were 170 applicants through the whole nation. We ended up being 10 of the finalists, and we went through an interview process and ended up being the first 3. So we're real excited that we were the first 3. It was to develop how to make outdoor economy or an outdoor recreation destination of our communities. That was the goal of it. And the efforts and the strategies were identified through this process. And if you'll bear with me, I'll go through the whole thing and not the whole packet, but I'll show you kind of how it works and how you can see how it lays out. So our first workshop, it was led by a fellow named Jason Ebsted. There were 63 attendants. Now, why that's important is because, does this thing have a laser? Does it? Top one, I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. Oh, it doesn't work on the screen. Anyway, up on the top, we had and help me if I miss someone. Eileen was active through this whole process, so she knows more about it than I do. We had like the National Chamber of Commerce Director. We had the National Park Service. We had the National Recreation Director for the Forest Service. Man, all the big players that can funnel money our direction were all at the table. So it was kind of like we had a national front row seat. And we were excited about it. We developed lots of plans and lots of processes. And we came up with an idea that, you can see that we have a little water, hiking, climbing. We have all those things up there. So the real reason I'm here tonight is if you'll look on that document up at the top, it says city manager, and you can see Laura's not here. If you go down through the list, a lot of the people aren't there. Chris Royball's not there. They've all changed hands. So we're going to need your help filling in the blanks of the people that are new folks on the block. And I think we have some exciting things to look at in the future. The steering committee, out of all these groups of people, we came up with 4 major areas that we thought that would help in the action plan to develop our communities. The first one is shape identity as an outdoor recreation destination, improve conductivity, so how we get around, increase. I can hear myself talking, so I'm not used to it. It's like I'm in a big stadium, and increase attraction, amenities, and infrastructure for staying power and local, improve local coordination. And you'll often see that in my arena. I'll see that one group is doing something, another group's doing something, and if we could dovetail together, we could do more. So that's exciting. So the action plan, you can see that's on page 9. So what I'm going to do is I'll kind of show you just by using one of the topics, shape our identity as an outdoor recreation connection or destination. I'll show you how it works, and then you can look at the packet and see how it works through the whole thing. So we identified all the assets that we have there. And you can see on the blues, all the things that we have that are really cool to work on area. The pink is the challenges or the barriers that we have to work through. So we took every core value and we established all of our assets and we established all of our barriers and our challenges for each of those. And through a number of workshops and a number of meetings, we came up with those. So I don't want to bore you with all of that, but you can look through that as a packet as you study more. So the next string, so to kind of follow that same parallel is on page 10 of your action plan. It says, we increase in meaningful targeting marketing in our outdoor recreation. And Eileen has been working on that, but that's one of our goals. And then you look subsets underneath there is how we do that, paper outlines, regional signage, branding and marketing and activity specifications, expos throughout the county, and that includes all of us. So each one of those is identified every goal. This is actually pretty handy and a lot faster than saying you can go. So, under action 1.1, it's still the same thing is we would identify and increase meaningful targeted marketing for our outdoor recreation assets and clearly communicate it and identify us to the world. We kind of use like Roswell as an example. Whoever was the marketing person for Roswell did a great job because I don't know if I believe in aliens, but I might if I go to Roswell and look. So if we look at areas, we could rebrand our areas. We're going to work on that, but that's part of the action plan. But you can see where we're deficient. You see that one of the lead roles is Chris Roybal. We love Chris, but she retired and went to another job or maybe just hanging out. So we're going to have to fill in those blanks of people that will help us. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. So then each in the appendix, which is the other document, there's additional things on how that we can look at those particular goals, shape our identity as outdoor recreation destination. And it says that, we can emphasize ecotourism. We can determine if Grants is a partner or Grants and Milan also, or are we a competitor with Gallup? Because are we going to try to be partners with them, or are they going to be like the rivals that the Bengals have always been against the Pirates anyway? I shouldn't say that. And we need to identify our assets, and we're doing that and rebranding the whole area. And what are we going to look like there? And then we're really focusing on adding motorized recreation to our area and work on those things. But you can see those things when you're studying this and going through your own time, because you have a bunch. So we spent a lot of time. We just lost signal. There we go. It's back. Oh, don't hit that. Maybe I did that. We identified, if you can see up there, those are all the things that have potential for outdoor recreation in our area. So that you can see that goes all the way down to the south end by Gus Rainey's old house, all the way up to Post Office Flats in that direction. But right now, Anna Larson at the county is working at it's ARC GIS system. So they're going to put that on a GIS system, and they're going to identify all those so that people that come into our community can easily find those. So it's a electronic way to find those sites, and she's working on that. If you have anything you want to add to her, you just contact her and she'll throw it in there, but it's pretty good. So what is that? It is really the science of where. It's a science of where everything is, and it's within 2 or 3 feet. So many of you are familiar with geocaching. Are you familiar with that? So geocaching has you go out and you have a little treasure somewhere. You record that treasure, take a picture of it and say that you were there. It can be that accurate that it's down to the little bitty section. So within the recreational community, there is a software that that I use and a lot of people use. It's called Strava. And Strava creates a heat map. So Strava, so if you look at the white areas is the highest concentration of activities. So if you're running, if you're biking, if you're rowing, whatever, you turn your Strava on, and then Strava comes on and it tracks where you've been. And then it's kind of like a social network, kind of like Facebook, except not as elaborate. And then you can say, I just did the ultimate challenge at the quad, and it'll show you where they are. So this is an overview of the Strava heat map. Strava generates a map of the most activity, and you can see that we're didn't go work on there. We're right over there on the left-hand side. You know where Grants and Milan is. You can see we have a little bit of light in that area. We would like to increase that activity where there's more and more people, that it's like bright white, so that we know exactly where people are traveling. Now, this is our local Strava map. You can see down here on the bottom is the Colorado Divide Trail going up. And so people who are running Strava on the Colorado Divide Trail, you know, we're really excited. You can see over there on the extreme left-hand side. And sometimes I'm dyslexic. So if I say it backwards, you're going to say, no, it's the right-hand side, Les. The left-hand side is Quartz Hill Trail System. So that's out. You go past the Low Ranch area, the Lahara subdivision. And then on the left-hand side, there's a nice parking area right there where those big yellow pine trees are. That's where that trailhead starts. And the Forest Service is working on that. And they would have had it done last year, but there was some minor hurdles that they're going to get over this year. That is going to be a huge calling card or drawing card for us in our community, because it's a really cool map. I mean, a biking trail, and it's fun. And then more exciting stuff today, we signed an agreement with the Forest Service that gets 22 miles of brand new trails. They're not even built, just above the prison by the where that square is for the Colorado Divide Trail. Yeah, trailhead right there where the trailhead is, and then it goes all up and through there, and it's gonna be a huge thing for everyone. And then not only for out-of-state people, but for you when you want to go ride your bike or walk or hike or something, it's going to be really a lot of fun. We've been working on it for years, and it's taken us forever. But anyway, the local Strava map, we have to increase our heat. If we increase our heat, that means people are spending money, and that's what the goal of this is. So here's an example of Moab. And just to give you an idea that you can see all around the town of Moab, there's all that heat from those people visiting and tracking. And we want to look like that in 5 or 10 years, because all those people spend money in Moab. And that's what we want. Okay. So along with the RAC grant came a research institute called Headwaters Economics. And she was here a couple of weeks ago. And her name is Megan, and she came in, and they're going to set up research or data to track how much use we have of our recreational sites. That's all part of this grant that we applied for, and now we're receiving it. It's going to be really cool data, and we'll have information probably it's going to be after October, because of we have the 50Ks in October. There's all kinds of things by the end of October, and then the weather turns bad afterwards. But so she's going to provide more information. We'll be privy to that when she gets it, but it's all provided with this grant. So we have to capitalize on it and use it to grow our communities. So just a little bit, you know, this is kind of hard to see, but you can see recreation dollars percentage based on GRT. This is a little deceiving, but this is what that research institute does. You can see we're kind of right in the middle. And, you know, I think that says 1.9% of our GRT. If we had it way up, we'd have more money in our coffers. So we got to figure out how to raise that up, and how we do that is by increasing all those things that we have in our goals. Okay. I just put a little bit more data in there. You can see that it's like I said, the reason it's deceiving, you look at the GRT for Texas compared to New Mexico, you know, 14 billion compared to 1.9 billion, you know, that's a huge difference. But if we can increase ours to be where we're, you know, a little bit higher rated, that would be a grand scheme of things. So now what do we have to do now? We're kind of at a crossroads. We have all this research done. We have this wonderful document, and we've been stagnant for, I don't know, Eileen, help me, a year and a half. So we have all this research, all this stuff coming in, and we need someone to jump on board and say, this is the most exciting thing we've done. We need to pursue some of these goals. You know, we have hundreds of hours of research in it. We have lots of time involved, and it's been paid for. We have a map, a core map of where to go. We just need someone to jump on the board and help us move that direction. So we're presenting to Milan. You know, we figured we'd do the smallest group because you're the most friendly. And then we'll go to grants, and then we'll go to the county after that and work through it. But That's what we're looking for. The state and federal government has already recognized us as we're above and beyond all those other communities. So what we need is we need your support. We need a little bit of help to fill in the blanks. So, managers, if you need to sit down with myself, Eileen, and the other group, we can go back and plug people in on the people that are no longer here. We need to make sure that some of the things stay on the ICIP and on other such planning documents, because all of you know that we don't ever get any funding if we're not on the ICIP. So we have projects that need to stay on there. And I don't know, when does that do? Anybody know? Yeah, so we still have some stuff on there that's good, but we need, like trail projects, all that list to get on the ICIP. We need to rebuild a fire, and we need the help. We need like real volunteers. I don't know how, in the bigger scope of things, we need people to get out there with shovels and build trails. We need people that can write grants. We need people that, can think and then just help us think and brainstorm. And we need writers. So like we just did this signing of the document today. We need someone to help write for the paper, do press releases. There's really no talent that can be overlooked. And if you know someone that's good at GIS, that's exciting. So you can plug it in, we can build maps. Any kind of talent that you might have, even if you don't think you have a talent, we'd love to have help. We'd love to have, and there's a number of groups that we can plug you into. Okay, I don't know how much time I used. Did you time me, Denise?
No.
Aye. Any questions?
No.
Does it all make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
we need help, getting that done.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
and you can always call me. I'm right over here at Stewart Brothers. That's
Yeah.
where my second home is.
Civil Communities Economic Development.
Sorry.
15 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and staff and guests. Eileen Chavez Yarborough with Civil Communities Economic Development Foundation. It's been a while since I've been before you, trying to juggle meeting dates and travel and such, but it's good to be back. And I wanted to congratulate you, trustee Mercer.
Thank you.
Welcome to the game. So I have before you, you should have a blue folder that has information in there, several types of information that I wanted to share with you. First and foremost, and the most important, are these reports right here from July of 2021, excuse me. So from the first of this fiscal year all the way through to basically yesterday. And so they have confidential on them because we have NDAs with some of these companies and they don't necessarily want the information let until they're ready. But as you can see, from July all the way now to April, restructured the report somewhat. The activities are presented in a different manner now, and the projects on this last page or on this last report are listed in order of viability. Like that means that it may actually happen to they've came to us, we've talked to them, but they're not active in moving. And so once they go on the dark list, we keep them there for 2 months. If we don't hear anything or have any action from them, then they are removed until they resurface if they do. So just a highlight of everything that's in here. Basically, the first half of the report talks about the projects that I deal with on an ongoing basis. And it's much like a juggling act, just trying to keep all of those balls in the air at the same time, because some people are ready to go and boom, 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 boom. And then some clients, it just takes them longer to get there. And so that's why some of these projects, they move around in order and we add information to them as we get them. I follow up with them monthly. Sometimes I hear from them and sometimes I don't. So it's just a general report of what is happening with each one of these projects. And then, like I said, towards the back of the report is the actual activity of what I have been doing for between board meeting to board meeting for our organization. And really what it does is it lists any travel that I take. This is travel. I haven't traveled in the past 2 years because of COVID. And so starting January 1, trade shows and sales missions and those kinds of things have opened back up. So February, I started traveling. I've traveled to Phoenix, met with Burlington Northern Santa Fe. That was one of the highlights of that trip. We are discussing the at-grade crossing at the Milan Industrial Park and how we can make that happen. We were told that you have to close one to open a new one, but we thought it had to be within our community. And what we found out from that conversation in Phoenix is it doesn't. It can be anywhere along the main line, and they have hundreds of crossings, many that aren't used. So it's a very more viable opportunity than we thought it was a few months ago. And then we also talked about the extension of the road from the industrial park all the way out to the interstate and adding a new freeway exit to get straight to the industrial park. That has already been put on the New Mexico Department of Transportation's list of things that are upcoming. Representative Lundstrom suggested that we get on that list so that we can be planning to upgrade not only the intersection here where Love's is, but to get on the list to include a new exit where Nursery Road would extend all the way out to the freeway. So that's all very exciting. After that, then I attended a SWARS conference, a Southwest Rail Shippers Association conference. That proved to be very fruitful. Got to speak to the CEO of BNSF, who happens to be a woman, fantastic and amazing person. And so just kind of picked her brain a little bit about our situation, what we have going on here. And she said, yes, it's definitely a heavy lift, but it's not impossible. It just takes time, planning, and resources and a timeline that everybody can agree with and get behind. From there, attended MODEX, and that is a trade show specific to transportation, logistics, warehousing, systems, processes. As you can tell, most of these trips up on the front of things are related specifically to Milan and the Milan Industrial Park. And so we're trying to hit the ground and make as many connections as we can. It's a card collecting mission. It's a relationship building process. And so I'm out there shaking hands, selling the park, selling Milan, selling our community, and trying to let them know what a value opportunity it is if they were to locate here. And so we've had some really, really incredible responses because most people don't know where New Mexico is. Unfortunately, we're considered the pass-through state. They know where Texas, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona are, but for some reason, right in the middle, they just don't get it. And so when we go and we explain what our community looks like, what our region looks like, and what our state can offer, they're always very, very surprised. And because of the transportation assets that we have here specifically in Cibola County, they're very interested in locating here. Another reason why they're very interested in this area is because we're only 11 hours from the Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And now that complies with the trucking industry's 11-hour mandate to only be on the road for 11 hours. So they can do a haul all the way from the port straight to here, transload, do whatever they need to do, and then move on. So we're well situated for that. And they recognize that. And so that is a good selling point for us. From MODEX, then on to the Space Symposium. And, you know, I got asked, well, what does Brandt and Milan have to do with space, right? And so the Space Symposium, obviously it deals with aerospace, it deals with a lot of military contracts and such. But my purpose and reason for going was that there's a lot of drone activity, a lot of testing activity, a lot of places that wide open spaces are needed. And Cibola County has lots and lots of wide open spaces. I know lots of public lands and even private landowners that would probably be more than happy to lease their land to do testing that has minimal impact on the environment and the land itself. And so that was the reason for being there. And it can also lead to light manufacturing. As you know, we have the Osprey who tests out of the Grants Milan Airport. I saw one yesterday hovering. It was so cool. But that airstrip can be used for many, many things and lots of different kinds of testing of aerospace, satellites, drones, unmanned vehicles. And so we're very well positioned for that as well. Had a little break and I start up again traveling, and I'll be pretty much every two weeks out of the month until June. But it's an opportunity that I take very seriously. It's not going out and traveling out to all of these places and recreating. It's not that at all. It's really specifically looking at who's attending, how their business or their whatever it is that they're going for applies to Grants, Milan, and Cibola County, and how can I make a connection with them to sell my community, to convince them to come here. We specifically look at expanding and relocating companies. Startups are great, but they don't have a history that we can look back on, whereas expansions and relocations do. And so those are the purposes, that's the purpose of my travel. Usually if I go to a trade show, there are several appointments set up on site and off site. So we take advantage of not only meeting as many people as we can at the trade show, but we go off site and we meet with site selectors, tax attorneys, real estate brokers, anybody who has contact with companies that are expanding and relocating. And what I like best about it is that on these sales missions, these are open to all of New Mexico. They're facilitated through the New Mexico Partnership, which is the marketing arm of the New Mexico Economic Development Department. They offer these opportunities to all of the EDOs and communities in the state of New Mexico. And for whatever reason, not everyone takes advantage of them. And so for me, when I get to go on these trips, I'm front and center. I have someone's attention for 45 minutes and I get to sell my community. And even better if I'm the only one on the trip, because then I'm the only one making the presentation and I'm the last name that they hear in their ear. And so it's an amazing opportunity for Grants and Milan for us to be marketed amongst all of these big players that we have in New Mexico. We may be, a big fish in a little pond, or a little pond next to a big lake. But there still is room for us to create economic-based jobs here in Cibola County. And so I wanted, in your packet is this, it's a brochure to market the Milani Industrial Park. It's quite comprehensive. It shows what the park would look like once it's built out. Has a spec building design here that is at 90%. If a company comes to us and they say, all right, we want to lease the land, but we need a building in 6 months. Do you have anything existing? And that's one of our shortfalls. We do not have a lot of existing buildings over 30,000 square feet. And the prime number now is 100 to 250,000 square feet. Those are the size of buildings that they're looking for. 50,000 is a little one, but most of them are 50 to 250,000 square feet. So we can't provide that building on site, but what we can say is we're very serious about you coming here because we have a 90% spec building design that can be all one big space, or it can be broken up into what you need for manufacturing, processing, whatever it is that you need or want. As you'll notice, I've blocked out the price there because we haven't decided what the price should be if we're going to sell or lease. And we want to make sure that we have that, that we have what you all would like for that price, or what you would like for that to look like. So we've just kind of blotted that out for now. And then lastly, I wanted to show you this magazine here. And this is one of the tools that we use, that the partnership uses across the state, but we as communities have the opportunity to participate in as well. And so if you open the front cover, you'll see that we have an advertisement there for Cibola County, not just for Milan and for Grants, but all of Cibola County. And it's representative of all of the industries that we recruit for. And so what we want people to know is that you can come here, you can bring your business here, and you can be very successful But we also have outdoor recreation. We have greenhouses, state of the art. We have transcontinental rail. We have plenty of things here. We have a community college, a pool. It lists all of those assets that we have. Those are all things that people look for when they're moving to a new community. 20 years ago, we would say that most people moved to a community for their job and then they looked for a place to live or decided if they liked it there or not. The way it works now is people move to the place that they want to live and to enjoy. And then when they get there, then they look for a job. And that's why remote work is so big. So we feel that we have the opportunity to really, really sell our whole county as a place to come and live. And because we have deployed broadband through our electric cooperative, and we're trying to permeate the entire service area, now you can come here, recreate, enjoy, hike, bike, and then do your work at home or at a co-working space or someplace that you like and still make a quality of life living and support your family. So those are the things that I have been working on. I know it's a very short presentation and the pages that you have there in front of you as far as the reports are quite comprehensive. I'm happy to provide more information to any of you if you would like. I will be wrapping up the leads grant portion of all of the travel, which will show more figures about the number of people that we saw, the number that converted to leads, the number that have converted on to prospects, on and on and on. So I'll have that for you in June. But I just wanted to, again, say hello. It's been a long time. Thank you for allowing me to give this presentation and happy to stand for any questions.
Questions? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we move to the action discussion items. First one is acceptance of municipal court cash journal for March 2022. Do we have any questions? If not, can I have a motion to?
I make a motion, we accept the cash for the courts.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by trustee Mercer, second by Mayor Pro Tem Brumble. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumble.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of finance report.
All right, so it's quarterly, so I put together a PowerPoint for you guys. So the first part of it is the finance report. This is covering through, this is covering March 1st through the 31st of 2022. If I can get the slide machine, there you go. There's three parts to my PowerPoint tonight. The first part will be the finance report, which has the GRTs, the pool cash report with your budget report, your check detail and certification, resolution 2022-12, which is bar number 9 in acceptance. And then the third quarter report is in there as well, and a salary schedule. So we'll move on. Click slow. At the blue light. Okay, so our GRTs are looking good. A little drop from last month, but they're up overall over the last little bit. So we got 248,866.29 in March. Our ITG, which is one of the new ones, was $9.28. And the CMP was 2,248.14. Those will be budgeted next year, because I have some sort of data to base it on. So those will be included in the budget next year. The next one is your pooled cash report. As you can see at the bottom, we're all balanced out to zero. If you notice, I know this little thing doesn't work, but if you notice our overall cash balance, we're slowly making our way. I'm happy to report as of Monday morning, we hit $5 million. So we are doing excellent. We're moving in the right direction. Huh? Yeah, we've doubled our cash balances in a year. So moving on to the payments distribution, we had 188 payables, 114 payments, for a total of 258,406.24. We had one voided check for 681.66. That was a check that got lost by Verizon. So we got that taken care of, put a stop payment on it, and issued a new check. We had one bank draft, that was our GRTs. So our total expenses that we paid out, excluding payroll, is 263,422.27 for the month of March. Moving on to, so if there's no questions on the finance report,
Questions? Questions? Any questions?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, I need a motion to approve the finance report.
I make a motion to approve the finance report.
I'll second.
And I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumble, second by Trustee Mercer. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Trustee Archuleta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumble.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution 2022-0112, bar 9.
so this is bar number 9, mostly as every month, just housekeeping things. We somehow, all the way to the third quarter, never budgeted for our water deposits. So that's adding the water deposit budget there. Most of the stuff is, like I said, just house cleaning stuff. There are some increases, especially in natural gas and fuel, obviously, because fuel is expensive this year. So that's just housekeeping. The purpose is broke down on your sheets should you want to examine it more. And as always, my door is always open if you guys are ever concerned or have questions. So that brings us to the approval of resolution 2022-12, bar number 9.
Any
I have a
questions?
question on your water deposit. So is that going to be, are we going to be seeing that again, or that'll be done? Because you created a budget for it. Or you-
This should
a
be
line-
good for this year. Next year, we'll probably look at what the average has been over the years, and I'll budget a little better. Right now, I think we have $4,600 that we've collected in water deposits. So I just budgeted for a few more months for this fiscal year.
Okay.
Anybody else? No?
No.
Not?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-12, bar 9.
I'll second the motion. Oops, goes in.
Motion by Trustee Mercer, second by Trustee Lopez. Trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumble,
Yes.
Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. We move to 2022-13 quarter 3 budget report.
All right, so we are on our third quarter. Your LGBMS third quarter report is completed. As I did the last quarter, I kind of broke it down for you to make sure that you're double checking, because you guys are responsible, and I want to be as open and upfront with you guys so there's no surprises. So on the left of this screen is your budget report. The total fiscal activity shows there in yellow. When I did the third quarter, if you notice, the revenues minus the expenditures equals our total fiscal activity. So they tie out completely. On the next page, you'll notice this is our investments line. So all of our investments are listed here. The total of investments here matches what's on our report. Your adjustments column, same thing. These are the adjustments. Keep in mind all the gray ones, and this is just the second page of the adjustments. You guys have the whole adjustment pages. There's 2 of them. So this is just the second page. The ones that are grayed out are the ones that are gonna stay there all year long. We have 1 more quarter and they'll go away. So those were adjusting to beginning cash balances per the audit report. So those tie out to our adjustments column on our LGBMS recap page. On your final double check, I kind of made myself a little crazy on this one because I wanted a way to know that everything that was on my balance sheet for LGBMS recap matched what was on my pulled cash report. So I went through some steps and figured it out because I kept coming out over and I couldn't figure out why because all the numbers were right. So what it is in our investments, our bank accounts are included in there. So when you go to the pooled cash report, then the investments aren't, but the savings accounts are. So I had to remove what was investments and not savings accounts so that I could balance that out. So I did a little final double check on the top, took the final balance from the LGBS recap, deducted the investments, and that's the total there. And then I added back in our savings and our petty cash to get that total at the bottom, the 4,844,703.03, which matches our pooled cash report. So I'm happy to report that our 3rd quarter balance beautifully. Pooled cash is amazing. Thank you guys very much for letting us go there. It has cut my work as far as journal entries go in maybe a 10th. It has saved so much time. The journal entries went from 20 and more to do one thing to 2 entries. It's amazing. So thank you very much for that. Do you guys have any questions on your 3rd quarter report?
Questions?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Okay,
Okay, if not, I need a motion.
So I make a motion to approve the 3rd quarter budget report.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by Trustee Mercer. Trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Trustee Archuleta.
Yes.
Thank you.
all right, last one.
Next, we move to the resolution 2022-014 salary schedule.
Okay, now I can say last one, and then I'll be quiet. Salary schedule. So what this is, and you have it in your packets, what this is a projection over the next 9 years. It's going to change every year because the minimum wage seems to be changing every year. So then our bottom has to change for all the positions. So that changes going up. So what we did, we've been working on this for months and months and months. Well, probably about a year now. We pulled other municipalities our size and with our GRT base and compared them for the positions that we had. So we pulled an average for those salaries. We also did look at the county and the city because we're so close proximity. We want to be competitive and still stay in our within our budget because we can't keep up with municipality that makes way more than we do. But we wanted to be fair. We wanted to be competitive and stay within budget. So I met with everybody on the board one-on-one. Roseanne and I have talked on the phone and exchanged some stuff. So this is just a guideline. This, just because that number is there does not mean that that's what that position will automatically pay. It will depend on years of experience, their merits, their certificates, evaluations, those kinds of things. This is just a guideline so that we don't have, we're stopping the, hey, my crew is doing amazing and I want to give them all raises. And then before you know it, this crew is making more than anybody. So this is just going to be a guideline where we can look at it and say, no, they're right where they should be. So that's what we're asking for approval, just to use as a tool. It won't be a, this isn't a budget approval. This is just a salary tool for us to look at for that position and know where they should be in the pay schedule.
Okay.
And excuse me, Mr. Mayor, members of the board. And this is developed with the thought that we will stay within our budget for not only this coming year, but for future years as well.
Okay, when I was invited to come here and I said at that time that I did not think it was fair, because there as I saw it and as I still see it here, there are positions that are getting more than positions that have already, than people that have already been here for quite a while. And at the time, I said I was not satisfied with the process. I was not satisfied with the way it was done. I think we need to be more fair. Without going into too much detail, I think we need to sit down as a board and discuss this as a board altogether, because I don't know how the other ones feel, but I feel that some of our employees are down at the bottom, and others with less time, less experience are higher up on the pay scale, and I don't think that is actually fair.
So when you brought that to me, what I did is I repulled the DOL, Department of Labor's statistics and salary schedules for certain positions. So ours are all above what they recommend. Every position is getting above what the low to mid is. So I made sure that it was fair per position.
Yeah,
And
but
then the year's experience will come when we budget it. Like the ones that have been here for years, they're not gonna start at the bottom. We're trying to budget them where they should be as their years have served.
So I would like to table this
Okay,
and have a closed session at a later date. Can we do that? No?
No, this is a general policy statement. You can only do that if you're going to talk about an individual salary, an individual particular person. This is a proper place for doing it.
Well,
I'd also
I wanna
like
go on
to,
record as saying, I'm sorry, I'm not pleased with that, with what I see on this.
I did make all the changes you asked. We can revisit it though.
But if we
I would
can-
also like to see this table, tabled and request a closed session on it. There were some concerns that I had. So I think maybe getting the board together would be a better thing than to do it individually, because everybody does have different opinions at the time. And then when we see it, we're like, wait a minute, what happened? You know, so we need to, I think it'd be a good idea to table it and request a closed session, as Vivian has pointed out.
Roseanne, you guys can table this for another meeting, but it cannot be in closed session. Our attorney is present with us tonight. This is something for an open discussion.
This can't be done in a closed session?
No, it was inappropriate to talk about general policy type matters, even though they deal with money and salaries and whatnot in a closed session. Closed session is reserved when you're going to
Okay.
deal with a particular individual and
Okay.
their salary and their position.
so if we're not naming it. first.
Yeah, but you're talking about a big group of people
Oh,
all
okay.
lumped together.
Okay,
Maybe we should table it for the next meeting so everybody can have more time to read through it and really try and absorb what is on the thing
Or
and,
come in and visit with
and-
Candy.
yeah, and
So I have.
we can do that in 2 weeks.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, this can be done during a work session. But remember, sessions are still public.
Yeah,
That'll give you time to fully debate and explore what's in this and, you know, what your questions are. or something.
yeah.
So that'll give us time to come in and discuss with Candy. If we have a question, can we do that?
Well, when it comes time to actually assigning salaries and actually saying you're gonna be hired for this job and you get this much money, when you're negotiating with that, when Linda's negotiating with, that kind of thing can be done in closed session. When you're talking about one-on-one, we're gonna set this person's salary at X, we're gonna set this person's salary at Y. That can certainly be done in closed session. I mean, and clearly, if you're gonna do 5 or 6 people, you can do that too, as long as they're talking individual assignments.
And this isn't that. This is just a high and a low. But we can set up a special meeting. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we can. We can do that. We can set up a special meeting in a couple of weeks. And give everybody time to really go through this and. Okay,
For a work session.
They're the same.
Okay.
so what it is we need a motion to table this for 2 weeks and we'll have a special meeting at that time.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to table this item until hopefully 2 weeks, so we're going to set up a special meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion by trustee Archuleta, second by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
trustee Archuleta,
Yeah.
trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have Airport Road Construction Management Task Order.
For you, a construction management task order from Wilson. Designed the roadway. The task order came in at $311,033.52. We had discussion with Wilson and Company. They removed a couple of items. What we're going to do is add that to the contractor instead of Wilson. And that brought the total to $253,026.72. So I'm asking for a motion tonight to approve that so we can move into the bidding phase.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Questions?
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, is this something that you want to direct me to sign for you?
Okay, would you repeat that again, please?
Would you like to direct me to sign this on your behalf?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay, with the manager having direct to sign, I need an approval, a motion to approve, please.
So I make a motion that the manager, Linda Cook, will be able to sign the task order for
And
Airport Road.
do you approve the amount?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by trustee Mercer. Trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
trustee Lopez,
Yes.
trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we move on to MOU for floodplain management training.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, this document, well, in fact, I was called to a meeting by the county and was shocked with the fact that we had to maintain a flood management per the state. And so we worked with the county to do an MOU for them to train our zoning and control person as flood manager. They'll have to take a test, and there's a lot of things they've got to learn to do. But we're asking that you approve this MOU tonight to allow that to happen. And also, may I ask that if approved, you would direct me to sign this? Well, your signatures are for the bottom as well.
Okay. Questions?
No.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, I need a motion to approve this with the manager signature also.
I make a motion to approve the floodplain management training, the MOU, and with our manager being able to sign off on this.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brambalo, second by Trustee Archuleta. Trustee Mercer,
Yes.
Trustee Archuleta,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Brambalo,
Yes.
Trustee Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we move direction for staff to publish ordinance for floodplain.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, Milan does have a floodplain ordinance. However, it is very outdated. So what we are asking is that you give us permission to publish the ordinance. And then we will address it at a later meeting for
Okay.
approval.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I don't see a problem with that. Questions?
No.
No.
Any questions?
No.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We contract with On-Call Electric Company.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, we have, and can I do both of these
Sure.
at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
We have, we live in an area where it's very hard to acquire services. So what we've done is we've gone out, we've asked for proposals considering electrical service. And this is the documents. We received 2 proposals, and the documents that we have basically list what they will provide their services for. And we're asking that you would approve both agreements and that you would approve the funding as to maximum as needed for on-call service.
Okay, do we have any questions?
I do,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
So
No, no.
we're wanting to have 2 on call. That's it.
What happens is when you guys are like, something breaks, let's say one of the valves down, power, the wind knocked power out.
Right.
So what happens is instead of the guys having to go out to 3 folks, they would be able to call one of these guys, come, hey,
Either one.
come now, please, you know,
Okay.
and if one can't, the other will.
Okay.
So that just breaks that cycle of we don't have to wait 10 days because we don't have 3 folks.
That's fine.
So that's fine.
Okay.
That's
I'm
a good
fine with
question.
that.
Anybody else have a question?
No.
Questions?
No.
And we would like to fill in that amount for the maximum of 10,000.
Generally a good idea, Mr. Mayor and board members, to put a maximum compensation under your contracts, not to
Okay.
exceed, and it's basically it's a not to exceed amount. And that way it keeps keeps costs down. And if you need to extend that, you can always amend the contract. I mean, it's not, you don't have to go out to bids or anything like that to amend that contract. You just change that number and increase it if you find that you're using, these on-call people a lot.
And for most parts, we probably won't even get anywhere near the 10,000, I don't think.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, I need a motion to approve item I and J with the max of $10,000.
I make a motion to approve it for items I and J with a maximum of 10,000 on.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by trustee Mercer, second by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbault. Trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbault,
Yes.
trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. Approval of bid for roofing of future village hall.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, we went out for an RFP for the roof, and we received 2 types of bids from one bidder. And we selected to choose the concealed fastener because it adds 10 years to the guarantee or the lifespan, I believe it is. So what we are asking that you would approve the bid for $68,850.44 for the concealed fastener. And you would provide me direction to sign.
Okay. How much was the amount, please?
It is $68,950.44.
119.
When
Okay.
would that work begin?
When does the work begin?
As soon as you approve this contract, I'll call them and get that set up. They'd have to pull permits, so I'm thinking it's probably gonna take them 15 to 30 days for permitting.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
So was that one of the bar adjustments that we had in tonight's bar adjustment? Was that 100,000? That's for the roof?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And this puts a new roof on the whole building, right?
Yes,
That's-
including the drive-through.
Any other questions? If not, I need a motion to approve the bid for roofing of future village hall to of the amount of $68,950.44 with the manager to sign.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbault, second by trustee Mercer. Trustee Lopez. Mayor Pro Tem Brumbault,
Yes.
trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the conflict of interest statements governing body.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, this document was designed to, since you are in the public eye and the public officials, this document basically covers you for if you have a business outside or you have an interest in a business. It will allow you to put it down, and by doing so, it is a public information, and you have actually met the requirement of disclosing any interest you may have.
Questions? Any questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve item 9I.
I will second the motion.
Motion by trustee,
Oh, L.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion by trustee Mercer, second by Mayor Pro Tem Brumlow. Trustee Chuleta,
Yes.
trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumlow,
Yes.
trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the Fire Protection Fund distribution.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, this document is a requirement by the fire department every year. And it is so they can receive their fire protection funds. It also not only lists what they get, but it also lists what they are carrying over, and their carryovers for the purpose of furnishing the fire station once it has been upgraded.
Were you going to say something, chief?
Mayor?
Sure.
Yeah, like Ms. Linda said, it's our annual for the fiscal year 2023 application for fire protection funds. But it's a projected amount of like another 129,000, which is up $4,000 from last year. This is the money I use to budget on for operations of the fire department. This is the 209 account. This is where it goes. This is the fire protection money. This is how I pay my water bills, my gas bills, my fuel bills, equipment, trucks, everything. And just because it deals with money, we brought it to you. And also, I didn't snap about this, but we do need permission to use the mayor's electronic signature. This is only done electronically. That was the main reason also. Any questions?
No. Any questions? Thank you. If not, I need a motion to approve, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the Fire Protection Fund distribution.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Lopez, second by trustee Chuleta. Trustee Mercer,
Yes.
trustee Chuleta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumlow,
Yes.
trustee Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have executive session pursuant to section 10-15-1H. The following matters may be disclosed in closed session. I need a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to section 10-15-1H.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumlow, second by trustee Mercer to go into executive session. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumlow,
Yes.
trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Eternals. And they're on the phone still, right? Yes, yeah. They're on the phone. You close the door, Mike, please?
Okay. Our water attorney's not presenting because Grant did not. So you've got about the settlement, documents. Have you had a chance to read them?
Yes.
Yes.
Line project with grant for the,
I am.
what we can do is, what we're doing is trying to figure out how we can do some of that. It's, we were looking at maybe $10,000, but now it looks like they're reducing the amount they want to give the non-tribal parties. And, down to about 7 million. So what we're doing is trying to look for projects that will allow us to show that we're being conservative and water smart by doing the hospital project. We can put water back into the San Jose, and it will go downstream. It'll be clean water. So that actually was the group that our attorney with in Santa Fe has suggested. But that's also in conjunction with the projects for upgrading our water systems and redoing the wells and maybe drilling new wells. So that's in conjunction with that. So has everybody had a chance to read the documents that we sent?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Did you guys read the documents?
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, Dry Green, as you noted, we can't pump the water, water until we get the results of the water audit, so we know exactly what we have, what we can use, what we have to change.
Did you hear that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I can't hear.
I'm sorry?
Now I can't hear at all.
Oh, okay.
Moving forward right now, because now the Navajo Nation have decided to buy into these projects as well. We were required not to use the deadline, and so we got into it and under the wire. But the Navajo Nation had better luck, so as soon as they buy into it.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any questions? Questions, Trustee Lopez? No?
I didn't hear that last part.
I'll continue to send you information as I receive it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, if there's no other questions, nothing else, we will go back into open session.
Thank you.
Yes. That was the shortest executive session we've had in a long time. It is nice, it is nice. Do I have to go into open session and then read the motion regarding or either way? Back to the open session. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need a motion to go back into open session, a motion regarding matters discussed in executive session limited to those specified in motion for closure, and that no final action was taken as per New Mexico statutes, section 10-15-1.
I make the motion to go back into open session.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by Trustee Mercer to go back into open session. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
Trustee Archuleta,
Yes.
Trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we do the updates. First, the village manager for all other departments.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, as always, we have the reports for each department enclosed in your packet so that you can read those at your leisure. We have the status report for the airport road, which you basically already have discussed through the change order. We have the mechanics report, the water department report, public works report, and the recreation report. And those are in your packet for you to read at your leisure.
Okay, thank you. Fire chief.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Board of Trustees. March 2022, we had 83 calls total, 11 fires, 38 EMS calls, no hazardous conditions, and 34 calls for combination of service, good attendance, false alarms. March was a big month for fires. We did a lot of mutual aid again. Most of it was out in Yakima. It was our biggest fires with the Anzac fire at 18 acres. And we had 4 fires that day on the 19th. We didn't expect to be in fire season this early, but we are. So Cibola County is on a burn ban. And to follow suit that I also put us on a burn ban. This happened after I gave you the report or turned in a report. Linda and myself enacted on our ordinance 233, which is restricting all open burning in the village of Milan. I'm sure you guys got all that. The para annual reporting was submitted and approved. So our volunteers are getting credit for their volunteer retirement through para. We don't pay into that at all. The fire marshal is the one that pays their retirement. Also in March, I had 50 hydrants scheduled for flow testing and maintenance. We had 46 of them done. There was 4 of them that were either out of service or not working. So I gave that report also to Joe Ray so he could start looking into that and getting them fixed. He's been pretty good about it. I think in the last year now, he's had 5 or 6 of them repaired and fixed. I need to go back and have those tested also. We've got up near 388 hydrants in the whole village. And most of them are outside our area, but they're tied into our water distribution, so they're our responsibility. The bad thing is I can't use fire protection funds to fix them. I could just use the fire protection funds to test them and have them annually inspected. So that falls on the village's side to have them fixed and working. Also annually, I've got scheduled for hose and ladder testing. We got to do that annually for NFPA compliance and to help with our ISO rating, which right now we're at an ISO 4 from the fire protection fund application you saw. We're getting a lot more money than that. Also scheduled for May, I believe, if I remember right. Our oxygen cylinders that we use for breathing, they got to be hydrostatically tested every 7 years because we use the new and improved carbon fiber cylinders. So they got to be hydrostatic tested. I do have that scheduled now in May as well. And I've got 58 of those coming in. That is an NFPA requirement. As far as training, I've got 2 volunteers currently about to successfully pass their EMS certification for first responder. So they will also be licensed EMS through the state of New Mexico and help us with the EMS calls and the community. We already went over the fire protection fund.
Chief,
Yes,
would you please explain why the ISO rating is important to the community?
yes. So Linda wants me to explain to you guys about the ISO rating. So the lower rating we get, the lower number of rating we get on ISO, the insurances are lower. You get lower rates, better rates on your insurance. Is that what you wanted to know?
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't make sure. Yeah, the lower the ISO, because homeowners insurance, your rates will go lower. If our number is low, then your insurance rates will be low for your homeowner's insurance. And at a 4, we are really good. I believe there's only 2 in the state that are a 1, and that'd be like El Paso and Albuquerque, if I remember. Maybe even Carlsbad. I don't even remember. Grants is even at a 4. So we're up there. We're hanging tough. Facility build update on our remodel with our station. When I put this report out, we were still waiting for submittals from the electrical and mechanical engineers and the plumbers. We've since got that. And we had a pre-construction meeting last week with them. Mayor Pro Tem Bureau in on that and Chris Archuleta. That went really well and it's moving really fast now. This week, I spent all week with Michael and the volunteers, and we completely moved out of the office area, and we're upstairs in the apartment area now as our office. Monday, they will be here, and the subcontractors will be here to start demolition. So it's moving pretty quick, and I'm pretty excited. Other than that, I don't got anything else. Any questions, discussions?
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
I don't have any questions.
Any questions?
Have a remark.
No.
Did Ever forget to call you?
Yes,
closing?
about 2 weeks ago, a subcontractor for BNSF Railroad called me and they were asking if they needed to get permits to work on the roadway there at the railroad crossing. And I advised them to get with the State Highway Department because that's State Highway 605 and State Road 122. But I did ask them also to inform me whenever they were going to shut those roads down because that hinders our emergency traffic to go to that side of the tracks for Milan for emergency services. Not only us, but with the police. And they didn't do it. It ticked me off quite a bit.
I was surprised when I started. And thought, okay.
I did call and make a complaint and told the lady, I said, we need to know this stuff. And that way we could put it out to the public. The guys going out to the mines and to work, causing them to get late. it puts a hinder on a lot of things. I'm glad they're working on it. It needs
Me
a lot of
too.
work.
Me too.
We were talking about the sidewalk that they tore up, so Linda's gonna gripe about that today,
Some more.
some more. But yeah, I asked them to please keep us updated as much as possible on that. We do have a fire station on that side, but it's not manned all the time. And it is a main station, and I do got people that are over there. But our people are on this side of the track, so I just don't want that delay. And if there is, at least we could put a plan together and be proactive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police chief.
Thank you, Fire Chief. Always set me up nicely. I appreciate it. Mr. Mayor, member of the board, good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Don't have much, so we'll kind of fly through this. I think you got my reports. I got them late today. Okay, perfect. So just some of the highlights on here are calls for service. We're a little bit up, but they're pretty consistent. With the months prior, offense reports a little higher. Arrest, one more arrest in the prior month. Area techs were up, business techs were up. Everything else is pretty consistent there. Auto accidents were up a little bit, but and that's mostly of our truckers that come into town, get into a lot of accidents in the parking lots over there. Traffic stops are way up, if you notice that. Being fully staffed, we have been able to do a little bit more activities, and our new guy's been proactive at night, so that's helped out a lot. Incidents total recorded, had over 200 more, which is quite a bit, but we are getting into our warmer months. Officer Howard completed his field training. He's now on solo patrol. Officer Cole still on FTO, but he's doing an excellent job picking things up pretty quick. We did get our pickup truck out of Sandoval County approved through their board and their trustees. We're just waiting on documentation with that. Then we could get that in our fleet. We did buy a bunch of equipment with some money we had through our LEPF, some guns, holsters, flashlights. We also got some ammo and some more duty ammo with that money as well, so that helps out. We have been handling a lot of calls with firearms lately, but the officer's doing an excellent job with those incidents. Again, being fully staffed has helped us out a great deal. Officers been able to take vacation and take some days off. We also hired Rachel Windhorse as our animal control code enforcement. She's doing an excellent job picking things up quickly. And we had some issues with our radios that we took to Albuquerque and got those issues corrected. And lastly, probably the biggest thing is our response time to calls. Our previous all-time low was 1:21 seconds. Being fully staffed has helped out. We are under a minute at 58 seconds response time, which is great. That's all I got. Any questions?
Questions? No questions? Any questions?
No.
No questions. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Board comments. We're gonna start with trustee Archuleta.
No comments.
Trustee Lopez.
No comments at this time.
Trustee Mercer.
Not at this time.
Mayor
Nope.
Foote?
I'm fine. No
Whoa.
comments.
We're all pretty quiet today, I guess. All right. I first want to congratulate Ms. Garcia. I didn't see that until this past, but it's a little too late, a week later. But there was a write-up about her, and it was very nice. Congratulations on that. I want to thank our employees for a job well done. As everybody knows, I've always said our employees are the backbone of the village of Milan. I see them working on the streets, the medians, the parks, and all over the place, and nonstop. They're doing a lot of digging at Maribel Park. Without our employees, our village will not be able to function. And high school spring sports are on their home stretch now. The district games are almost completed, and pretty soon we'll be watching them go to their state tournaments on their particular sports. And our youth programs are just getting started here at the village and in the city of Grants. I just want to say it's too bad that through no fault of our own, the parks are not fully equipped yet. It's been a chore trying to get our parks ready. Hopefully they'll get done pretty soon. I think our kids deserve better, but like I said, we try our best, but sometimes things are out of our hands. Those of us that enjoy the mountains and really can go up to the mountains, I ask that you be extra careful. The fire season is really bad, and if mountains, I was born and raised surrounded by mountains, and mountains are gorgeous, so be extra careful. If you can donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital or any charity of your choice, please do so. When you see a veteran, thank her or him for their sacrifices. And may God bless the village of Milan, and may God bless America. Okay, we move on to the announcements. Planning and zoning meeting, May 5th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. Board of Trustees workshop, May 12th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Board of Trustees regular meeting, May 19th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Okay, we need to change the last one. The Board of Trustees regular meeting will not be on May 19th because that's the graduation mass for the seniors. So we need to find another date for our meeting. That's April. We need the May calendar. Yes.
What about if we move it to a Tuesday?
That's it. Yeah. If that's what the board wants, we're talking about moving the meeting because from Thursday to Tuesday, because Wednesday and Thursday is for the seniors, for the high school seniors.
Yes.
And we don't want to have anything going at the same time that they do. So if y'all approve it, we can move our meeting to Tuesday at 5:30. What's the date on Tuesday? 17th. 17th. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine. I'm fine with that too, because I have a senior.
Okay. Okay, we're all good with that. So our next regular trustee meeting will be on May 17th at 5:30. Anything else? Okay, and you want to have
do that at the workshop?
We would still need decision prior to budget, so I recommend special meeting.
Okay.
So. Or I can advertise for the workshop as a special meeting.
We can have a special meeting before then to,
Because that would only give me a week
Yeah.
to do the whole budget.
yeah. Let's have it in 2 weeks.
Maybe. Nope, it can be any-
Huh?
Need 3 days notice.
What about May 11th? Nope.
Can we do it earlier because of the budget? We need to give Candy the time.
May 5th?
We can do the 4th.
We
I
can do
will
it in
get
the
back
morning.
to you guys on treatment dates because I'm not sure if I'll be in treatment on those days.
And that's okay, but we can do our meetings in the morning. We can do the special meeting in the morning. On which date? The 5th? Okay. On Thursday, May 5th. Oh, okay. Huh?
I can't.
4th. 4th.
Oh, the 4th.
Okay, let's do it on the 4th then. Special meeting Wednesday, May 4th at 9:30 in the morning. Okay. If there's nothing else, what else? If there's nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Mayor, motion by Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow, second by Trustee Mercer. Trustee Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Yes.
Trustee Chuleta. Yes. Trustee Mercer.
Yes.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.